Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 22nd, and welcome to Cámara Peruana de Comercio Exterior. And these are lectures that we give every day. Today, we will start with some English, we will continue with our English lessons. But today we're going to talk about a topic strictly dedicated to English, which are the different sounds in the English language, okay? So for first, let me introduce myself. Today we're going to talk about the sounds of the English language, number one, because we're going to only review up to the vowels, and Saturday we will finish with the topic of the sounds with the consonants. My name is Carlos Martinez Flores. I am an English instructor and speaking coach. I'm a former team leader at Pacifico University, and currently I am an English teacher at Mater Purísima School in Miraflores. Okay, so like I said before, we're going to talk today about the sounds of the English language. But before that, we need to compare it to what we know. Okay, so let's start. English. English has a total of 26 letters and 44 phonemes, okay? We have 24 consonants, 12 vowels, and 8 diphthongs, okay? Whereas Spanish has a total number of 27 letters, 24 phonemes, 19 consonants, and 5 vowels. Okay, so notice the difference. First, let's explain what a letter is. A letter is the minimal graphic sign that makes up the written sequence. That means the graphic, the drawing is a letter, whereas the phoneme is the sound, it's the smallest unit of speech distinguishing one word or word element from another. That means the sound. So notice, English has 26 letters and 44 phonemes. Spanish has 27 letters and 24 phonemes. So basically almost, Spanish is almost 100% phonetic, whereas English is around 86, 87% phonetic. Okay, notice that in English, in Spanish, we have 19 consonant phonemes. That means 19 consonant sounds, whereas in English, there are 24 consonant sounds. In Spanish, there are 5 vowel sounds. So we have A, E, I, O, and U. And every letter has it's a specific sound. But in English, even though we have the 5 consonants, A, E, I, O, U, the 5 letters, we have 12 vowel sounds, 12 phonemes. And we have 8 diphthongs, okay? So this is one main difference between the Spanish language and the English language, okay? We might have more letters, but we have less phonemes, whereas English has less letters, but more phonemes, okay? But they are not impossible to learn, and they're not impossible to put into practice. The common myth, there's a common myth where everybody says, okay, that always tells me, teacher, I mean, for me, English is too difficult to pronounce, I can't get the sound, and they always try to find the equivalent to the Spanish sound. Okay, and that is a myth, okay? It's not difficult. There are more sounds, yes, 44, like I told you, but they're not infinite. So if you learn the 44 sounds of the English language, you will be able to pronounce every word in the English language. So it's nor impossible nor difficult. Different, yes, but not impossible nor difficult to pronounce, okay? What is the reality? One of the difficulties that English pronunciation has is that the sound of the word is not necessarily related to the spelling. And this is obvious, right? For example, the word bear, right? B-E-A-R, bear. But when you add the letter D, it becomes beard, B-E-A-R-D. Why? That's the English language for you. Okay, the sound of the word is not necessarily related to the spelling, whereas in Spanish, normally it is. Also, because the languages are made up of different sounds and rhythms. One of the best ways to achieve good pronunciation is by practicing the phonemes in English. So if you can learn the 44 phonemes, you can pronounce any word in the English language, okay? So if you learn how to pronounce the 44 phonemes that exist in the English language, you will be able to pronounce any word in the language. It doesn't matter if it's too long, if it's too short, if it's strange, if it's new, even if you don't know what the word means. If you can pronounce the phonemes, then you can pronounce the words. Okay, so that's the reality. Sometimes we think that English is difficult because we can't pronounce it, but it's not impossible. And also because sometimes the pronunciation is not related to the spelling. Sometimes, like for example, another word like island, right? We spell it I-S-L-A-N-D, but the S is not pronounced. So you never say Iceland, right? Iceland is a country. We say island, like the island San Lorenzo that we have here in the coast. Okay, so like I said, the reality is that if you can learn how to pronounce the 44 phonemes that are in the English language, then you will be able to pronounce any word that exists. Okay, remember that I can follow your questions in Facebook. Remember, I'm always following you in Facebook and also in the Zoom area. Okay, I know that normally we speak about business topics, and we're going to continue talking about that. But every now and then we're going to talk about that's English for specific purposes. But every now and then we're going to talk about English for general purposes, like now. Okay, because pronunciation is very, very, very important. Now, similarities between the English language and the Spanish language. It's important to recognize what similarities we have, and it's also important to recognize what differences we have, so as to be able to learn from them and avoid them, okay, or use them in our favor. So the first similarities is that both languages use the Roman alphabet. So it's not like, for example, Russian or Arabic or Japanese, where they have different items to represent the letters and the sounds. English and Spanish use the same Roman alphabet, okay? So it helps us to kind of have the idea of how to pronounce these words or how they will be pronounced, okay? Because we use the same alphabet, A to Z. We have one more letter, that is the ñ, but it's still the same. 30 to 40% of all the words in English have a related word in Spanish. That means that there are words that are similar in meaning, similar in appearance, and similar in sound. They are called cognates. Okay, a cognate is a word that is similar in two different languages in meaning, spelling, and in sound. So if we say that 30 to 40% are cognates, then that means that we are almost halfway through knowing what the word means. Yes, there are words that have different meanings. Yes, there are words that have a different pronunciation, but if you can recognize the word, you should be able to recognize its cognate in your original or your native language. So, and this will help you to transfer the word and to acquire it, okay? Because, if you can connect it to something, if you can relate, that's something that we have in education. When you can relate something to your own experiences or to your own way of learning, it is easier to learn and it's accepted quicker. Now, except for a couple of word order exceptions, like for example, in Spanish, we say la casa grande, right? In English, we say big house because it's the adjective goes before the noun, okay? Whereas in Spanish, the noun goes before the adjective. That's one exception. Also, the fact that in English, there are no gender for words, like there are in Spanish. For this reason, the articles are not dependent on gender. Okay, so just like we say la casa, the house, and we say el carro, the car. So the is for both masculine and female and feminine words, but in English that doesn't exist. Okay, that doesn't exist. Adjectives do not vary because of the word if it's masculine or feminine, because in English that is not used. Also, sometimes adjectives don't change even depending on the number, right? We say, for example, las casas grandes or las casas rojas, right? The red houses, or los carros azules, the blue cars. El carro azul, the blue car. Okay, so the adjective doesn't change according to the number or to the gender. Okay, because in English that is the words don't change according to numbers or genders. Nouns change depending if it's singular or plural. Verbs change depending on the conjugation. But then basically rules are similar to the Spanish language. And finally, learn to read and write. Learning to read and write uses the same basic process. To acquire a language, you need to first be aware of the phonetic, how you pronounce it. Then it's also important to acquire what you're reading, what you're listening to. And finally, in Spanish, just as English, they find that 40% of words in English have cognate Spanish. The grammar is very similar with two or three different things that are different in English. And the process of acquiring language is basically the same. Okay. There's a fluency fact, there's a comprehension fact, there's a pronunciation fact, and of course there's writing. Okay. So there's listening, writing, speaking, and reading. Very good. Now, just as we mentioned similarities, we also have to mention some differences. Okay, we also have to mention some differences. What are some of the differences in Spanish and English? First, the greatest difference between English and Spanish is that Spanish has only 5 vowel sounds, while English has 12 sounds. Okay, this is one of the major differences. Okay, in Spanish we have A, E, I, O, U. In English we have every vowel has 2 sounds, the long and the short sound. For example, we have the U sound, right? Like good, good, right? And then we have like the long sound, like the short sound like bull, bull, short sound bull. And then we have the long sound like the moon, moon. Okay, so every sound has a short version and a long version, right? Bull, moon. Okay, so every sound has 2 short vowel, long vowels. And then we have 2 extra sounds, the sound of the schwa, the sound, and we have the I sound, yeah sound, like cat. Okay, so every vowel, vowels have 12 sounds. That's the first main difference. English has 12 vowel sounds, but it's not like it's different letters. It's the same vowel, but with a short version and a long version. Okay, and then we have the consonants. For example, the sounds of these consonants don't exist in English. Okay, that's why, for example, when you speak to an English-speaking person, they have problems with double R's. Okay, or the sound of the H, whereas in Spanish it's silent, and in English it doesn't exist. Or the similarities between the double L and the J, like that's why they say llama and they don't say llama. Or the pronunciation of the ñ. If I have a friend that lives in New York, and even though he's Colombian, his last name is Patiño, most people call him Patiño, okay? Because the ñ sound doesn't exist, and so on. Then the combination that we have in Spanish with U and the E, the que, the qui, the we, the we, that doesn't exist in English, okay? For example, if you have quiet or queen, right? Or quick, they're sometimes not sure how to pronounce it, like in English, if, the difference when you have the Q and E and only the diéresis, like in we, we, okay, these sounds don't exist in English, or these rules don't exist in English. So this is a problem for English speakers. So it's not only Spanish have problems, Spanish speakers have problems when they speak English, but also English speakers have problems when they speak Spanish, okay? Because some things can get confused, and we tend to confuse what is normal in our language to what is normal in the second language. Then these are some basic differences that we have in Spanish or in English, okay? First is in English, these combinations of letters don't exist. The OU, you know, these are the A, or ow, or the O, the U. Okay, these sounds here, OU, OW, EIGH, these sounds don't exist in Spanish. Okay, or the consonant digraphs. Okay, these two sounds that, for example, graph or wash or birth. Okay, these sounds don't exist in English. The consonant blends, it's very, I mean, you won't find these combinations in Spanish. Very difficult. For example, like screen or sprite or stream, you know, like smell or like slow. These sounds don't exist in the Spanish language. Also, the initial sounds like knife, like quick, like right, like ski. Okay, these combinations of sounds don't exist in the Spanish language. That's why sometimes it is difficult for people to pronounce them, you know. And then the final sounds here, like for example, or sing, or tough, for example. Okay, so these sounds don't exist in the Spanish language, and that's why that is confusing. You know that in all these combinations exist in English, but they don't exist in Spanish. So it's proper for you, and we will see that later, what sounds these combinations of letters make. For example, the endings of ed, when you have T or D, right? For example, why I say invited, but I do not say watched. Why I say, for example, needed, but I don't say talked. It's incorrect, right? Because there's a rule. There's a rule. We're going to see that in the next class. But when we pronounce the T or the Ds, when to say dead, when to say ted, it depends. If the sound, for example, if a word finishes in T or in the sound of T or D, or T, then we're going to say et, like started, invite, invited, need, needed, okay, rent, rented, okay. So when you have the sound of D, like need, need, and you say needed, or again, start, started, okay. Or the sounds of S, the sound of the S also, it can be an S, Z, or an S. Like for example, if I say plate, so the plural will be plates, plates, okay. When we have, for example, dish, it will be dishes, okay, dishes. Okay, so there are rules which we're going to see in the next class, but today we're only going to focus on vowels. But these sounds depend on the last sound of the words. In Spanish, we don't have this problem because we just pronounce the letters that we see. Endings without vowels, you know, like tops, you know, or stacks. Okay, these sounds don't exist in Spanish. Suffixes and prefixes, they do exist in Spanish, but these have different meaning. Right? Normally, a suffix goes in the end of the word, and a prefix goes at the beginning of the word. Okay, for example, the prefix over means that you're to excess, where the prefix under means that you're below is less than enough. These suffixes, li, nes, fol, est, we use suffixes to change the word. For example, if I say happy, happy is an adjective, but if I say happily, I transform that adjective into an adverb. If I say, for example, let's say, again, happy. Happy is an adjective, but we say happiness becomes a noun, okay? Help is an adverb. If we say it's a verb, but if we say helpful, it's an adjective, okay? So, or for example, if I say strong is an adjective, but if I say the strongest, now it has become a superlative, okay? And of course, the contractions these things don't exist in the Spanish language. So these things can be sometimes difficult for Spanish learners and may confuse them. Okay, very good. Let's continue. Now, I mentioned before cognates, right? I'm going to give you a list of cognates, and so you can see how similar they are. Because sometimes you think that English is just like another, like a separate language, like maybe the Asian language or the Russian language could be. And even so, those words, at least the Russian language, some words are similar. Basically, the English language or the Arabic languages sometimes are different. For example, here we have some cognates with A, B, and C. Notice how we have accident, and in Spanish, accidente. Accidental, and in Spanish, accidental. Or we have banana, banana. And in Spanish, we have banana. And we have bicycle, bicycle. And in Spanish, we have bicicleta. Okay, how we have cabin, cabin, cabin. And in Spanish, would be cabina. Cable, cable. And in Spanish, cable. Cafeteria, cafeteria. And in Spanish, we have cafeteria. Okay, for example, some more here with D. We have December, December, diciembre, decide, decide, decidir. Decoration, decoration, decoración. Electric, electric, eléctrico. Elephant, elephant, elefante. Enormous, enormous, enorme. Family, family, familia. Famous, famous, famoso. Fascinate, fascinate, fascinar. Galaxy, galaxy, galaxia. Gallon, gallon, notice double L, gallon, galón. Garden, garden, jardín. Notice how even though they are a little bit similar in the writing, the pronunciation is similar. Garden, jardín, garden, jardín. Helicopter, helicopter, helicóptero. Hippopotamus, hippopotamus, hipopótamo. History, history, historia. History, historia. Okay, notice the difference here. This is history like Miguel Grau, Bolognesi. Okay, if you want to say historia like a book, that will be story, story. Okay, but it's still similar. Then we have idea, idea. In Spanish, idea. Identification, identification, identificación. Imagine, imagine, imaginar. So notice these cognates from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Notice how similar they are. Electric, electrical, even the writing is similar. Accidental, accidental. Same spelling. Or banjo, banjo. Pronunciation is exactly the same. Cabin, cabina. Okay, very similar. Okay, so we said cognates are words that have similar meaning, similar spelling, and similar pronunciation. Okay, I'm going to give you some more. Common cognates. 30 or 40% of the English language are made of cognates. So if you know the cognates, then you will be able to pronounce the word, or you should be able to pronounce the word correctly in the English language. For example, we have leader, leader, leader. Spelling is very, pronunciation is a little bit similar, but the pronunciation is very similar. Leader, leader. Lemon, lemon, limón. Lens, lens, lente. Machine, machine. Please be careful. Don't say machine because machine is, you know, from the clown. Okay, this is machine, machine, máquina. A little bit different, but, you know, it's there. It's in the ballpark. Magic, magic, magia. Magician, magician, mago. Natural, natural, natural. necessity, necessity, necesidad, nectar, nectar, néctar, el arbolito, néctar. Then we have with the letter O, obedience, obedience, obediencia, object, object, objeto, observatory, observatory, observatorio, palace, palace, palacio, panic, panic, pánico, paper, paper, papel, paper, papel, similar. Radio, 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 ranch, ranch, rancho, really, really, realmente. This is a little, not so similar, but still in the ballpark. Really, realmente. And finally, these. Okay, if you don't see the letters that are missing, it's because there are few or almost no cognates. Okay, so you can see LMNO P, there are no Q, RST, UV, no W, no Y, and no Z. There are some, but they're less than, they're not so common as the ones here. For example, secret, secret, secreto. September, September, septiembre. Note the spelling also, English capital S, Spanish lowercase s. September, septiembre. Series, series, serie. Telephone, telephone, teléfono. Telescope, telescope, telescopio. Television, television, televisión. Uniform, uniform, uniforme. Notice that this U has one of the sounds of the letter U, which is not U, it's U. Uniform, uniforme. Then we have vegetables, vegetables, vegetales. Notice here, like I mentioned before, you don't say vegetables, vegetables, no, vegetables, 3 syllables. Vegetables, version, version, versión, and finally, visit, visit, visitar. So these are common cognates. Notice how we have mentioned approximately, how many? 3 times 3 times 3, how many words here? 6, 9, 19, 3, 27 words, approximately 52 words, and 54 words. And they're all very similar to the Spanish language. Okay, now let's go a little bit deeper. The vowel sounds. Today we're going to mention all the vowel sounds that exist in the English language and their correspondent phonetic symbol, okay, and the phonemes that it represents. For example, here we have the 20 vowel sounds in the English language, because there are 20. I mentioned before, there are 12 vowel sounds and there are 8 diphthongs. Here in the bottom, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 are diphthongs. And 1 through 12 are the vowel sounds, okay? Notice that the short vowels are the ones in red. I, fish, I, fish. And the yellow boxes are the long vowels. Tree, tree, okay? So notice how the red boxes short, clock, clock, and the long is the yellow is the long, horse, horse, okay? So here we have the different letters and the words that represent them. For example, number 1, I, fish, I, fish. Then we have the long, tree, tree. Notice how we are talking about the sound of the I, but here we have double E. Okay, so The sound is not always the same as what we write. Number 3, cat. Cat. This is not cat. This is cat. Cat. Then we have this long car. Now, in American English, you're going to find the R, car, but the pronunciation is car. Car, okay? Long A, car. Then we have the, oh, cloak. No, clock, I'm sorry. Clock. 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 Then we have the long O, horse. Horse, okay? Oh, long. Horse. Horse, okay? If you want to put the R, American horse, British horse. Horse, okay? Then we have the U, the short U, like bull. Bull, like your Red Bull. Bull. And then we have the long one, boot. Boot, okay? Boot, notice the symbol. Boot. Notice how the long ones have these two little like, triangles next to it, okay? Car, horse, boot. Then we have the schwa, the sound, like computer, computer, computer. This is the long U. Computer, computer. Okay, computer, the schwa. Then we have the long, this one here, the bird, okay? There's the long bird, okay? Then we have the simple E sound, egg. Now, we don't say egg, we say the G is G, egg, egg, okay? Then we have the up. It's not up, it's up, because up is like for your cell phones. This is up, up. Then we have the diphthongs. This sound A, train, A, train. Then we have the O, phone, O, phone. Then we have the I, like bike, bike. Every sound is pronounced. Bike, bike. Then we have the owl, the L sound, owl. Okay. Then we have the oi, like oi, boy, oi, boy. Then the ear, you know, the ear. Then this sound is okay, the air, okay, air. Then we have the tourist. Okay, so we have these 20 sounds and how they are represented, okay? These little red symbols and every letter, for example, sh, this sound like a long S is the sh, whereas look at this sound with the T with long S is ch. So this is like sh, like anka sh, and this is the ch, like wacho. Okay, so each symbol has a sound. Fish, fish, and we have the tree. Okay, and so each word has a sound. Clock. Okay, so notice how these are the 20 vowel sounds in the English language. If you can learn how to pronounce each of these 20 sounds, then you are halfway through being able to pronounce all the sounds, which are only 44. Okay, so we have 20 vowel sounds, 12 vowel sounds, and 8 diphthongs. Okay, A, telephone, okay. Then we have the I by owl, boy, the ear, the chair, and the tourist, okay, and the tourist. Okay, so we have, these are the different vowel sounds in the English language. We have 20, and if you can learn them and you can practice them, you will be able to pronounce any word in the English language. Today we're going to talk about vowels, and on Saturday we're going to talk about consonants, okay? So again, fish, tree, cat, car, clock, horse, horse, bull, bull, boot, boot, computer, computer, bird, bird, egg, egg, up, train, train, phone, oh, phone, bike, bike, owl, 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 oi, oi, boy, boy, ear, ear, chair, 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 and tourist, tourist, okay? So again, notice red boxes, short vowels, yellow boxes, long vowels, purple boxes, diphthongs. E, a, o, u, ka, e, a. Okay, very good, very good. Now I'm going to give you some more examples of. Now, apart from the sound, I'm going to show you the letters that represent the sound. For example, the sound of A is normally pronounced by the letter I. Okay, by the letter I, like dish, bail, page, fit, ticket, and sins. But also sometimes by the letter E, like pretty. The O, like you don't say woman, you say women, 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 like A. You see, women, women, busy, busy. You don't say decide, you say decided, decided. Village, you don't say village, no, village, village. And you don't say physics, you say physics, fish, physics. We have the E. Now, this sound can be represented by the double E, like in speed and sweet, the EA, like in peach and team, or just the E, like referendum or medium, okay? Referendum and medium. But also by these combinations, EO, people, people, or the I, like magazine, magazine, or the EY, key, key, or the IE, niece, niece, or the EI, receipt, receipt. Very good. Now, the A sound is normally produced by the A, the letter A, fan, tram, crash, tax, carry, land, okay, land. Okay, of course, I am exaggerating the sound because you say land, but you don't say land. No, land, no, land, okay? Then we have the A, car. It's represented by the AR, like garden, charge, starter, or the A, path, glass, cast. Okay, notice garden, charge, starter, path, glass, cast. But also by the letters AU, like aunt, aunt, AU like laugh, laugh, and EAR like heart, 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 aunt, laugh. Okay, then we have the O, like in clock, clock. So we have lorry, cost, plot, bossy, off, on. But we also have like the A and the AU. For example, watch, watch, want. We don't say want, we say want. We say sausage or sausage, and because. Okay, so these letters also make the same sound. Then we have the O, like in horse, or like in horse. So normally the OR like in score, or like in floor, or the AL like in ball, or wall, wall. Then we have the AW, like prawns and draw. Okay, these combination of letters produce the O sound. But we also have these combinations: warm, cause, thought, caught, audience, and board. Okay, so notice how these combinations letters also produce the O sound. Okay, warm, cause, thought, caught, audience, and board. Now, here's some more. The E, like egg, is normally pronounced by the letter E. Menu, lend, text, spend, plenty, and sent. Okay, the menu, lend, text, spend, plenty, and sent. But there are also some combinations, like the combination IE. You don't say friend, you say friend. You don't say already, no, you say already. Healthy, many, said. Friendly, already. Healthy, many, said. Then we have this U sound with up, okay? The U, like public, subject, early, duck, hurry, and cut, right? But there are also some combinations that also pronounce the sound, like money. You don't say money, you say money. Worried, someone, enough, country, and tough. Okay, so these combinations also produce the sound, tough, enough, country. Okay, then we have the diphthongs. We have the A, train. So normally we have the letter A, but notice when it is before a consonant plus E. So save, consonant B, E. So when you have the letter A before a consonant in E, you're going to say A, save, gate, okay? Or the combinations AI, railway, plane, or the combination AY, may, say, okay? But you also have combinations like EA, like break, steak, great, and or EIGHT, wait, or EY, they, angry, okay? So remember, the letter A sounds like A only when it is before a consonant and the letter E, okay? Then we have O, like telephone, the letter O, again, when it is before a consonant and the letter E. O, broke, stone, frozen, mobile, okay? Broke, stone, frozen, mobile, okay? When the letter O is before a consonant plus the letter E, O. And then we have the combinations AO, roast, coach, okay? Very good, but another combination can be OWE, O, deber, OW, slow, OUGH, although, and then shoulders, okay? So these are different combinations of the letters. Remember, these are the letters and these are the phonetic symbol for the phoneme O. Then we have I, the letter I, again, when it is before a consonant in E. I and E, I, consonant E. So this is I, fine, resign, I, resign, shy, cycle, okay? Then we have IGH, flight, frightened, okay? But another combination could be UI, like by, or IEI, or EYE, eyes, and EIGH, height. Okay, so these different combinations of letters produce the sound of the diphthong I. Then we have owl. the combinations of letters that produce the sound of the OU, like hour, lounge, proud, ground, ow, and the OW, town, brown. Okay, so these two combination letters produce the sound of the ow. Then we have the next diphthong, oi, oi. Now this is pronounced by the OI, like boiled, noisy, spoiled, coin, and the OY, enjoy, and employer, employer. Okay, so this is the sound of the diphthong oi. Then we have the diphthong ia, ia. This sound is normally produced by the letters EER, ERE, and EAR, like ER, beer, beer, engineer, engineer, the ERE, here, weir, beer, appearance, appearance, okay? So these combinations of letters produce this sound, okay? And then we have really, idea, and serious, serious, okay? Yeah, serious. And then we have air, like chair, chair. Like then the letters that produce the sound are the AIR, air, like airport, or upstairs, or fair, or hair. And the ARE, like rare, and like careful. Notice airport, airful, upstairs, rare, fair, and hair. And another combination for these sounds could be the EIR, there, there, where, pair, and air, and area, area. Okay, area. So we have there, where, pair, and area. So these are other combinations that also produce the air sound. Then we have tourist, the O, tourist. This is an unusual sound. We have the euro, the furious, sure, and the plural. Okay, this sound is not as common, but it still appears. Euro, furious, sure, and plural. And finally, we have the U, like in bull, that is represented by the letter E, the letter U, like full and butchers. The double O, like you don't say cook, you say cook. You don't say book, you say book, look, and good. This is the letter O. Okay, or we can also have the combinations of OUL, like could. You don't say could, no, could. Should, you don't say should, no, should. Would, you don't say would, no, would. And woman. All these combination of letters produce the U sound. Now we have the long U, like boot. Now again, we have the double O. This is pool or moody. How do you know? You need to practice and you need to memorize the U, but when it's consonant E, like true, you know, true. Or student, student. Then we have the EW, few, interview, and other situations are like suit, juice, shoe, move, soup, screw, and queue. Okay, queue is like a line you make when you go to the supermarket. Okay, so these sounds are the sound of the long U. Then we have the bird, like bird. The ER, term, prefer. The IR, like dirty, third. The UR, like you don't say curly, no, curly, time. Notice that these three make the same sound. All of these combinations make the same sound here. Okay, notice they are not different sounds. These three sounds, these three letter combinations make this sound. In the case of the bird, the ER, the IR, or the UR make the sounds term, prefer, dirty, third, curly, and turn. Another combination could be EAR, learn, OR, work, WOR, world, and was, and journey. Okay, word, worse journey. And finally, many different spellings always unstressed. For example, the schwa sound like computer, other, nervous, about, complain, director, information. Okay, so this is a schwa sound, and it's never, you never say, for example, other. You say other. You don't say nervous. No, you say nervous. You don't say about. You say about. You never say complain. No, you say complain. And the same for the others. It's never stressed, okay? So these are, like I said, the first 20 phonemes, the first 20 letters and letter combinations to start pronouncing correctly all the words in English. Okay, if you are capable of pronouncing all these 20 phonemes, then you will be able to pronounce any word in the English language, okay? So before we go, I have written 5 words using their phonetic symbols and stressing and with the red letters representing the corresponding phonemes. So how do you think you pronounce the first one? See, maybe you can participate to the chat in Facebook or in Zoom. What do you think is the word that we're talking about in the first one? What do you think is the word that we're talking about in the first one? Any idea? What about the second one? What about the third one? I'm not going to mention how you spell it. I mean, remember, these represent sounds, okay? It's important to know that in English, you first learn the sound, and you will be able to see these symbols in the dictionary. Whenever you find a dictionary in Spanish and English, you're going to be able to see the sounds, okay? Now I'm going to collocate some pictures, and now I would like you to match. Now, which is which? Which is which? Which is this? Which sounds go with which pictures? Which sounds go with which pictures? Let's see the first one. Maybe, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Let's see. There we go. What is this? This is a cat. Don't say cat. No, you say cat. This is a cat. Very good. This is a cat. What about the next one? Which is the next one? Which is the next one? The next one is, there we go, boy, boy, right? Boy. What about the next one? What is the next one? The following one, this one here. Remember that these are the phonetic pronunciation of these things, okay? For this person. These are the phonetic representation of the word, okay? This is boy. This symbol is oi, boy. What about the next one? The next one is chair. Very good. The next one is chair. This is a chair. Okay, this symbol, this little symbol here with the big like S is a ch, like macho. Chair. Okay, we have the chair. Chair. Very good. And then we have 2 more. The next one is, very good. It's notice compute, computer, compute. This little symbol here is the stress. That means that the stress goes up. Compute, computer, computer. Very good. And finally, the symbol, this is a long vowel. This is the, again, if you're American English, you'll say horse, but if you're British English, you'll say horse, horse. You don't pronounce, you don't pronounce the R, okay? Horse, horse, okay? Just like teacher, okay? Or Potter, like Harry Potter, okay? So you don't pronounce the R's. So this is horse, okay? Horse. Very good. So on Saturday, we're going to continue learning the 24 sounds that are missing. And remember, if you can pronounce the 44 sounds, you can pronounce any word in the English language, okay? There isn't going to be a word that is impossible for you to pronounce in the English language. So you can eliminate that myth that it's impossible or difficult to pronounce. As you can see, these symbols represent the sound, and it's better to learn the sound and then the word, okay? Very good. So thank you for your participation. Thank you for your attendance. And remember that I always follow your participation in Facebook. Thank you, Angelica, for your participation, and also in Zoom, okay? The topic for Saturday is the Sounds of an English Language Part 2, where we're going to review the consonant sounds and some other specific sound details that are important for normal English students to know and to learn so they can communicate properly in spoken English. Very good. I'm glad to have been here with you. I hope you have a great Thursday and an even better Friday, and I will see you on Saturday, okay? If you have any questions, like I said, I'll be glad to answer them in the chat area and in the Zoom area. And if not, well, then here is my information. That's my email, that's my WhatsApp contact, and my LinkedIn account, okay? You can contact me so I can help you out in anything related to English. And if you're really interested in English classes, just contact the CAMEX Campo Comercio for any other detail that they may have, as well as for a short evaluation related to the topic. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great Thursday, and I will see you on Saturday. Okay, so are there any questions before I go? Are there any questions before I go? No? Thank you for your participation and have an awesome Thursday. Bye-bye. Take care.